Here we are on the second part of our one lap of Donaldson Center. We just passed the halfway point, about 8 minutes and 15 seconds, and now we're in the second half of that 16.5-minute ride. I was talking in the previous section about how we're bunched up at this point. That's because really there isn't any type of attack going on. This is 5 laps, and it was interesting. There really weren't that many attempts at breakaways. Not as many as there typically are. There were maybe 3 that I noticed getting off the front. Some teammates and I worked to bring back one of those in the, I think it was the 4th lap, enough so that I was able to recover going into the 5th lap. As I had mentioned earlier, it was somewhat deceptive. We thought we were going much slower than we were, but when I looked at my computer, we were averaging around 27 miles per hour for the entire ride. Obviously, at some points, we were going much higher than that. As a matter of fact, looking at my computer right now while I'm talking to you, I had a maximum speed of 40 miles an hour while we were out there. So that's a pretty good enough speed. That was probably coming downhill. I don't think it was in the final sprint or anything like that. Some more data to look at. I averaged around 270 watts for the entire ride. For one lap, it was over 280 watts average. Highest wattage, my maximum was 1,005, I believe. But again, the purpose of this video is not really to show you racing. The purpose of this video is to show you a full lap at Donaldson Center. Here we're making what I call turn 4 coming up, or what I guess I should call it, that's the railroad track turn. As we make that turn, pretty soon we'll come up to a railroad track, which we really wish the railroad company would kind of smooth a bit, because invariably, even tonight, you'll hear water bottle, because someone has gone and dropped a water bottle. And here's the railroad track, where you see the spinners guy bunny hopped it. Again, to our right and left, there are industrial type complexes, distribution facilities. There was a Michelin sign, you may have seen that to the right. Pretty soon here, if you look down at the road, you'll see it's somewhat rough. There's a nice kind of smooth section right up near the white line. Sometimes you'll see people there if the wind is okay. By the way, the other thing about Donaldson Center is there is a lot of wind you'll come across. Some days it really is a battle to find the best position so that you don't end up getting blown off the course. But here we've entered into a smooth section. The road is very nice at this point, and typically the speeds will begin to pick up at this point on a lap where people are beginning to try to make something happen. toward the end of this particular video, I'm going to show you a little bit more speed where we're stretched out a little bit more. It ends right around in this section. Here's a pretty flat section before we make a right-hand turn. After the right-hand turn, we'll dip. Oh yeah, by the way, it was an hour and 23 minutes of ride time for the 5 laps. Here's that right-hand turn I was talking about, and we'll begin dipping down. You can see that in the distance. And I guess if you are really feeling strong, you could attack on this climb that's coming up. I think you can see, or I saw, 2 guys off the front here beginning to make a move. I had tried to get in a position where I could go around simply to show you a different view, but I was pretty much boxed in. The yellow line, we're not supposed to cross the yellow line, and so I kept getting shut down. Was not able to advance without crossing that yellow line. Soon we'll come to the traditional point where the sprints start. Again, some people may start earlier, but as we near the buildings up there, you'll see in front of us, that is where the sprints will start in earnest. That's not to say that people wouldn't be picking up speed at this point. An attack definitely would have started earlier, but going for broke typically doesn't happen until you've reached this point and to the fire station that appears on the left. The only time I ever finished in the front on this course, or won, if you can say that, was in a B group ride, and I attacked at the bottom of this climb and stretched it out, but never have been able to do that again, especially in the A group. We'll be coming up here very soon to the finish. If you really want to attack and put your speed in, here's the point to launch. If you are there in the front group, this is where you really have to turn on the afterburners, because the finish is coming up in just a few seconds. We're probably 5 seconds away from the finish. And this is where we started. Now, here we're getting started on the final lap, and you can see things happening that weren't happening in lap 2. And for instance, the guys there dropping off to the right, much more standing and attacking on this hill, where before people were just kind of taking it easy. The gaps between riders are starting to open up because the field is stretching. There are more riders behind me at this point than earlier. And again, riders dropping back. And here we go into that section where we're getting ready to hit the smooth area. You can see here, naughty, 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 guys going over the yellow line. I was on the yellow line, but I didn't go over it. But this is more like the speeds you'll find on the final laps. In this particular one, I did finish close to the front, but not where I would have liked to. Well, there's Donaldson Center. Maybe we'll get some more later. I hope you had enjoyed it. Again, education, not entertainment.